First got into these electric bikes, I was looking for the replacement for the single hub motor bikes, and then they started to throw two motors on, and this bike has a dual motor system. So I'm in one, now I've got in B, right? So I'm working both motors. One, crank it up. Two, off the throttle. Three, off the throttle. Four, off the throttle. Five. Just like a transmission. All right, Dad Random here. It is Sunday, and I told you my channel was going to be taking on bike projects. And of course, today is the perfect day to do this first bike project. I've been riding this Amyet S8 for probably about a month now. I've had it, maybe a little less than a month. And I've been excited for it because this is the bike that I've been looking to ride for quite a long time. When I first got into these electric bikes, I was looking for the replacement for the single hub motor bikes, and then they started to throw two motors on, and this bike has a dual motor system. So that was the first of my goals, was to get a dual motor bike. This one also has the high handlebars. There's an advantage to that, and then there's also a disadvantage to this. But in my case, in my riding case use, I like the high handlebars because it creates a much more comfortable seating position. And you can see that this one also has some really cool red accents. They're all around the bike right there. We've got the accents on the rear and front brake calipers and on the shocks. So pretty cool. They did throw in this this little tool pouch, which I do keep tools in. I do have an air pump. Probably won't need it. I also added on the phone mount. It's up to you how you want to mount your phone. Some people don't feel really confident with these. I think they work great, especially the ones that grip around the sides. So that's how this one works. This one also has hydraulic brake levers that are adjustable, so you can adjust these down and make them tighter. And the advantage of that is if you ever get them out of whack, if they ever get out of sync, you can adjust them to keep rubbing from happening. It's best to always adjust them down, at the caliper, but I haven't really had that problem. So you can make that adjustment right here, and then there's your brake pads, and these are your adjuster screws. The only adjustment I've made on this so far has been torquing these down. These are adjustable springs, and this one has two compared to the bikes I've had in the past. This is now my fourth bike. This one has many features that my other two bikes didn't have, and they all have advantages and, like I said, disadvantages. Probably the main problem I've had with this bike has had nothing to really do with the drive system, has everything to do with the back tire. I have now replaced the back tire tube. I'm on my third tube. The first one exploded when I aired it up, and then the second one just got a leak in the seal around where the stem came out. So there's some issues either with the tubes in the case. I don't know. These were aftermarket tubes, so I've got a couple more coming just in case. I'm going to make a short ride today and talk a little bit about it. This is not my first ride, but it's my official discussion ride. So, all right. So let's get this bike going. This is a 25 amp hour dual motor bike. This thing will go over 30 miles an hour. No question about that. But there are some trade-offs with that, so we'll talk about that on the ride. So we're going to do a real quick ride. I'm going to drop some precious cargo off, and yeah, we'll give you my feelings as we ride along today. All right, Dad ran them with the Amyet S8 dual motor. I don't know, it's 750s probably, 750 watt front, 750 back. Goes about 33, give or take, miles an hour. All right, here we go. Dad random. All right, okay, Dad random. Before we get on the road, I'm using a speed app that I paid for, one-time fee on that. And this thing allows you to adjust your information, and it will track my ride, okay? So, and you'll see that it does give me a map. I can go full screen on this map, like go there, and it will track my entire distance and the mileage that I go. So I'm gonna go ahead and start a manual tracking. And we'll talk about some of my bike adjustments when we get back. So far, so good. Looks like our tires have got plenty of air in them. All right. Of course, Steve hates anything I do that doesn't include him. All right. So hard to see the screen, but let's go. All right, Dad random. Right. Here we go. Little ride test. Probably going to go about 5 miles. About 5 miles on this ride. And yes, I'm wearing a helmet because this bike is really fast. So one of the things that you need to take into consideration is when you do start your first couple rides, to make sure that you know the bike a little bit. That's why I didn't do any fancy rides yet, which I did do. I've done way more than I'm doing today. But we're in Assist 1, and I do not have both motors going. So one of the misconceptions about a dual motor bike is that you should always ride with both motors engaged. And that's just not the fact, okay? That's just not the fact. You do not need to have both your motors going, and it only helps you when you're going at higher speeds. And I actually use my my front motor like multiple gears. You'll see that in a second. This bike does have turn signals for a person behind you. But it does not have turn signals for the front. So now I'm engaged in their I call it second gear, first gear, second gear. They just put the stoplight down by my street here. But we will ride pathway all the way, so. And there we go, we got freaking full on bike path. We want to get onto the path and get off the turn lane here. There we go. But I don't know if it was my off-roading, which this does just fine. And I noticed a little slip on my handlebars real quick there. On that first. So I might need to tighten them up a little bit. But when I picked up my front end, all right, so that's second gear, passive assist, going about 18, 19 miles an hour. I'll go ahead and switch over to go over this. If you look at the phone now, you've got 15, 14. All right. So another nice thing about this bike, is the fact that starting and stopping on a hill is pretty easy. And immediately if I stick it in, if I engage the front motor, you'll notice that I get just a huge burst of power. And really, I have gone up very steep inclines, much steeper than this. This is nothing, but it does slip, so you have to be very careful. A lot of people learn very quickly that, there we go, there's the golf course right there. That the front wheel and the back wheel on this bike are really out of balance, meaning that you get a lot of power in the front and it doesn't necessarily coincide with the rear power. So, but you know, I'm nitpicking this bike big time because this thing is just an absolute blast. So I'm going to go all the way up to 5th. Okay, so I'm in a passive assist 5. Okay, so since I'm in the sun here, you can't really tell. So I'm gonna slow down here and do some checks. There's a couple of things I want to check. First of all, the rear tire. So I'm gonna look at that, and when you can tell I've got this rear tire really soft right now, and I'm kind of, you can see how soft it is, but right now I'm kind of playing compared to the front. But 4-inch tires can be pretty soft. Actually, there's an advantage for riding with a soft tire. So, all right, but this ride, like I said, about 5 miles total. So these bikes here are about $1,000, probably more. It just depends on how the shipping is arranged. So that's usually the big one, is how is your bike getting shipped. They can charge as much as $250 for shipping for a bike like this. But most of your cruising you want to do on this bike, this is a 25 amp hour bike, is just with one motor. Misconception on a 2-motor bike is that you're going to want to ride with both motors engaged here. You know what I'm going to do really quick? I am going to do an adjustment on the front fork, and this is something you have to do with these bikes for the first couple of miles, is you need to do some custom adjustments. So I'm just going to go and grab my toolbox, or my tool case. There should be a multi-tool in here. Right here. This is probably your best friend right here, this multi-tool. So I'm going to do a quick adjustment on the front fork. Now I've actually had questions about this on this specific bike, on the front fork, and some people like it straight. I like it like a BMX bike, so a little bit, you can see a little bit forward. And these are your adjustments. So I'm just going to quick and do just a little tightening. What do we got here? The next one down there. Well, that was the right one. Let's do a little bit of, there we go. Just make sure they're snug. There we go, snug that. Snug. Snug and snug. There we go. So that should be, that'll do the trick. So you can see, as you can see, the Amyet S8. What would I call it? What I call it, an S8. So Amyet S8. That's what it looks like in the sun. All right, so we are at the public library. And we're going to go down to the road. So this is where we're going to have to mess around a little bit with gears, but we're going to do a lot of sidewalk surfing. We will ride in the bike lane. We will ride in the bike lane. We are in 5, and this is where we can shift into show people how fast we can go. It says we're going 32 miles an hour. So that's pretty good for a bike, I'll tell you that. But this is really about where you want to ride this bike as far as being that fast. You hit the front battery. There we go. There we go. But here it is. It's a nice little lookout here, a little historic site. Okay, beautiful out. Great day today. So like I said, if you're out and you're trying to just buzz around 100 miles an hour, you're gonna miss everything. But yeah, so far so good. We've got, let's see, 21 minutes into our, we've gone 4 miles. So we're 4 miles into our ride. 4 miles. Yeah, it definitely, since one thing I can tell you I definitely notice now is that by taking these pegs off, the back of my heel doesn't hook anymore. So that was an issue. A lot of bikes, they put those pegs on the back right here. They install them right there. I don't recommend that you ride with 2 on any of these bikes. It's just more fun to ride with 1 person. So, all right, the next piece of our ride is going to be uphill, and we just went up about about maybe a 25% grade. The hill we're going to go up is probably a constant 26, 27, a little bit more than this, maybe kind of the same. And it is about probably a little more than half a mile up. So definitely, this is where you definitely want to switch your AB switch, probably going up the hill. Another more advice is just, hey, just let your bike, use gravity, you know? If you're going down a hill, just coast, you know? All right, so we're gonna go here. I can ride on the bike trail, but why when you got a beautiful side trail like this where you can just chill, you know? So another beautiful day. It's a beautiful fall day, about 74 degrees, perfect for riding. Remember, on these trails here, you want to be, let's go down to passive assist 2. And if you have any sand like this, and you hit any sand, and I put it into B, it's you know, be very careful. B means be careful. You can hear my front motor kicking in. So now we're running with 2 motors. So we got 2 motors, and this is where the dual motor system is amazing. This is why you buy this bike right here. So I'm gonna put it in I'm gonna put it in level 3. So going up the hill is not, it's not fighting the way up. So this is a typical hill. And this would be one if you were riding a pedal bike, you would have a little bit of fun. So, but yeah, this is just a blast. Just love riding this thing. Another thing about this bike that makes it super awesome is that because you have so much power, your rides are just way better. So now if I want to start pedaling, I can pedal. There it is, there I'm pedaling. What a waste of time. And yes, I could pedal up the hill if I want exercise. Guys, when you buy these bikes, you don't buy them for exercise. You buy them because they're electric. So I'm gonna go down to 1 and show you how I like to use the speeds, okay? So I got 1, 2, I'm in 2nd gear, off the throttle, 3, off the throttle, 4, off the throttle, 5. That is how you shift this bike. I get my weight forward and then I go 1, off the throttle. That's a technique that I developed myself, and it works awesome. So I'm going to show you again. I'm going to go up this straightaway up here, and I'm always go slow, get across this here. So I'm in 1, now I've got in B, right? So I'm working both motors. 1, crank it up. 2, off the throttle. 3, off the throttle. 4, off the throttle. 5. Just like like a transmission. So I take the torque off of the back motor and the front motor to switch into the next gear. Going down, you just coast, okay? But I learned that technique, and it really makes it less of a... Now I'm on a flat, you turn it off. There's no need to have... there's no need to be in dual motor when you're on the flats. It's just it's a waste of battery. So that's another technique I suggest. If you're using this bike, like I said, I've been on about a month. Going in, yeah, if I want to pass somebody. So I rely on my rear motor 99% of the time. Okay, I'm still I'm still testing out that rear tire. Everything seems good. The ride seems to be the same. So, okay, so now I'm in 5, but you can see the difference, and you really do get used to B. You do get used to this. And I'm trying to catch up that Corvette. Look at that. I'm gonna catch up to the Corvette. Okay, maybe not. He's got a difference between me and that Corvette. I don't know, about $80,000. That's about it. We're both fast. All right, we're back down in A. We're on a flat. And like I said, conserve your battery. I mean, if I was going to take this long distance, I'd conserve it. All right, I'm going to go out for a while and I'm going to enjoy my ride, so I'm not talking, and we'll come right back. I'm going to take a left over here. Anytime I take a left or a right, always, another suggestion, a lot of people, they like to put on, we're going to go back and into second gear here and just cruise. We're going downhill most of the way. Rear view mirrors would be helpful. That a lot of bikes will put that in as an option to just have one mirror so you can look to your rear and to your left. But yeah, this is a great ride. All right, Dad Random. We'll be right back as I put this thing away. All right, let's go ahead and debrief. All right, Dad Random back, and I'm holding my camera in the palm of my hands. This is the Action 5, and yes, the Action 5 is a really good vlogging camera. No problems on this. Looks like my air held up really good since I'm getting to be a master of changing tires. I've heard people having as many as 6 flats before they finally bought new tires. So my finishing amperage is, let's see, so 53 to 50, so we have 8.85 miles and varied terrain. So let's go ahead and open that up. So that was our path right there. Pretty long path. You want to know the app I'm using, just let me know. I'll give you a message. I'll send you a link to it. But not bad. Gives us elevation changes and all of those really cool things, which are not important. What's really important is, was my ride fun? And number one is yes, this ride is really fun. I have no complaints except for that tire issue. Anyway, but the S8, a lot of fun, great ride. And this is my first real vlog with this, and I thought it went really well. All right, our mission was complete and successful. All right, later, Dad Random for the Amyet S8. Fat tire bike. It is definitely a winner in the price point. There's not a lot out there that's better. All right, later, bye.